I could see it now.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to be sending you guys out this document, so we don't need to get into too much details, but California does have rest break and meal break laws, and of course we want to abide by them. So I know you guys your days could range from 5 to 8 hours a day, but we just want to make sure that you are taking breaks throughout your time, so we can kind of go into the different laws. So you'll see at the top is rest break. So you will not be, I guess, using pay for this. So, and you're entitled to a rest break. So if you work at least 3.5 hours in a day, you are entitled to one rest break. The rest break is about 10 minutes, a good amount of time, go to the bathroom, get yourself some water, get kind of refreshed to continue on going. So that's the 3.5 hours. Just please make sure that you are taking just one rest break. And then you'll see the other bullet points about like over 6 hours, you have 2 rest breaks, over 10 hours, which you shouldn't be working over 10 hours in a day anyways, but that is 3 rest breaks if that should ever happen. So that you just work your normal hours, and continue on with that. When you do start getting into longer hours, you are entitled to an unpaid meal break. So that is for 30 minutes. So if you work over 5 hours in a day, you're entitled to a meal break of at least 30 minutes. So, and that is something that you will track in payroll, which I'll go over that, how we're going to log that. So that is unpaid. So just keep in mind, 5 hours, 30-minute meal break. I mean, this is definitely important that you want to take that break, get nourished, get your energy back to keep on working. All right, so with that being said, there's some examples on the bottom of the sheet. You can go through this. I would definitely keep this in a safe place to refer back to when you're logging your pay, and especially before you're going out in the field and working. Something that I do really want to express that's really important is to not go over overtime. So overtime means no more than 8 hours a day, 40-hour work week. So you should never be working over 40 hours a week. So you really just want to make sure that you are planning your days accordingly to that. We cannot have you guys go overtime. All right. Well, then I think it might just be easier to keep my screen up. So let's go into how to log your pay. I hope you guys have all gotten your Dayforce and Ceridian login. If you have not, definitely reach out after this call and we can get you set up. But if you do, that's great. You'll enter your time cards. So we do bi-weekly pay. So you just want to stay on top of it. I like to recommend everyone just, if you finish your work day, hop online and enter your hours. It'll be the best way to stay on top of everything and to not forget or be rushing when the due date is. So how you're going to log your hours, we can log it together. So I also do have instructions step by step of how to log this. So we are recording this, but also if you're kind of more of a visual person, I have this as well of what you should be logging in for every column. So you want to select your date. I don't know why my computer is doing this, but you can kind of see when you select date, your date will pop up of the day you work. When you are logging your hours worked, it would be regular hours. If you have any trainings, you'll hit lead fee. I'm so sorry, I don't know why this is happening, but you can kind of see it flashing. Okay, so let's say that you're working 5.5-hour workday. Like we mentioned, anything over 5 hours in a day, you're entitled to a 30-minute break, which is unpaid. So if you're working, say if you have a shift that's from 12 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., right? So you want to make sure that you're logging those hours with that unpaid break. So you would put the date you're working, regular hours, let's say 12, and we write it a little differently. It's 12 p. 12 p is how you'll write 12 p.m. So you work in for there. And then you'll go say, so it's also, we don't want you taking that break your last hour, making sure that you take that break within that hour. So, say 12P to 4P. And then that is when you are checking out to you're taking your lunch. And then, so it's only 4:30P, so in and out. And then you're back to work at 4:30, and then you end your work day at 5:30. So you put, that is how you'll log your hours with that break in the middle. Your rate is $25 an hour, so you do 25.00. Your PIC, we will send that out in the recap of this email as well as all of the codes for the program that you're working. This PIC, and you always do 01 unless told otherwise. So that is the ID, and then your market is 34, and which I'm not sure if you guys are all Sacramento market, but we'll tell you anything different if not. But it should be 34, and then your ID sub. So there's two different ID subs. One is for regular hours, and which is this one. Again, we'll have this written down that you can refer back to. And then we have another ID sub that is for training, which we, again, will give you as well. Whatever your market is, the 2-digit code, you'll always just put a 1 in front of it. So Sacramento market is 34, should be 134. Cost is always 000 for this. And then in the comment section, you will want to have a detailed explanation about what you work. Not exactly sure, sorry, not too familiar with this program, but maybe, I don't know if you're at account, Safeway, merch, and any other details about it. And again, we'll have your date there. So that is how you log your pay. You'll want to just make sure that everything is completed fully. You'll keep logging your hours. The next line, maybe if you work the next day, you'll put that for those 2 weeks. You'll just keep logging. To save it, do not forget to hit submit. I don't want you logging out and then having it all erased. That's definitely frustrating. So hit submit right here. Oh, okay, well, it logged me out because I've been on this for a while, sorry. But once you hit submit, then you'll just see everything up there again. And then keep going back to that page whenever else you need to log more hours. Sorry, I don't want to show because it'll show it quick, but then you'll hit submit, and then when you're done, hit approve, and that's the end of the time code. And then that will submit all your hours. If you do have any questions with that, always feel free to reach out. Your manager does hop on your time sheet to approve it every 2 weeks before payroll. So if there is any issues, she will reach out before it gets submitted. So don't worry if you think that something is incorrect. All right, so that is with logging payroll. Okay, you guys all should have received your PEX card right now, or in the process, or it's on the way to you. So you'll want to make sure your PEX card is all set up. So what you do with, if you haven't been trained on a PEX card is pretty much your personalized debit card with MKTG. Your manager will put on a certain amount every week, and you'll have that amount to say pay for gas if approved, or any other required expense when you're out on the field. So you'll want to log into your account, and this is what you'll see. It'll be your name. It'll kind of show your card right here, just a little picture of it, and your account balance. Just always making sure that you have, before you're going out into the field, like making sure that you have funds if you are needing to spend, and then for your activation. But once you, say if you're buying gas for a rental car that's been approved, you want to save that receipt. And on that receipt has, of course, all your payment information with the total, as well as on the receipt, it'll have an authorization ID. A lot of times it says auth ID. It's just six-digit, I think, numbers. You'll want to definitely save that receipt. I can't express that enough. Take a photo of it right when you're done, because you do need to log it. We log it into two sections, or two sites. PEX, the PEX site, if you're using the PEX card, as well as on the MKTG Event Management Center. So first, you'll want to hop on this, because this is pretty much like your bank, your bank login. When you go in, kind of check your balance, your transactions. So we'll hit transactions. All transactions. Okay, so this was used, we'll put this one. This was August 17th at TJ's Bar. So you'll want to go through it. It'll show when you were at the bar on this day, this time, you spent $82.80, which should match up with your receipt. You'll want to add a note. So I put this one in there. I think it's good. The note could be TJ's Bar and Grill, and we use this for the Spirit Forward program. Thanks. More details, the better. And then you'll want to add your receipt on here. So if you're doing it on your phone, great. The photo should already be on your phone. If not, upload it to your computer, and you just add the photo right there. So I already had it, so I'll just delete it. I can show you. It just says upload, and it'll bring up information, and then it'll show you the receipt. You're like, okay, that's good. Hit save, and the receipt loading. Cool. If you ever need to kind of see like more details on it, here is the details. All right, so that is PEX. It's pretty straightforward. That's just make sure that you're logging everything on that, making sure that you're checking up on your available balance before you go on with the other. Okay, moving on to that.